Hey everybody. If some of you do or may not know, today was an ACT test day. And I went this morning to take my ACT. Um, I updated a little bit on Twitter about it. So, I decided that I would make a ACT video, kind of how, not really like this is what you need to do for the test, but kind of not like academic wise, but kind of like girl tips and just stuff that how you can prepare yourself, what to bring when you're taking the ACT besides the obvious, and just some general stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I wish that somebody would have made this video. I was thinking about that today, that I wish some YouTube guru or just anybody had like made these tips or whatever. And these can also be applied to general test taking if you're not taking the ACT. These can also be applied to the SAT, maybe not the specifics of the ACT, but just general things. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, first of all, it's the night before the test, and you're laying out what to wear. What do you wear for the ACT, right? Well, most people would think, look cute, get up, dress how you normally would. Not necessarily. There's a few things that you should do. First of all, a good tip for girls, especially one that I've discovered, is especially last year, I had somewhere to go after the ACT, but for people who don't really have anywhere to go after the ACT, there's no need to get all dressed up for it. So, there's a few things you can do. Number one, it's a good idea to bring something to kind of keep your hair out of your face. A good thing would be a little headband. If you wanted to just wear that, it's not very cute or whatever, but you're not really going for you're kind of going to, this is, a test that is going to help you apply for college and you need it. So if not, then just get a few bobby pins and just kind of pin your bangs back or something. This morning I had my hair in a French braid, but it kind of fell out, so I just took it and put it in this really cute, just kind of low ponytail. Just sits low, and it looks kind of crimped, but I think it's really cute, and it doesn't you can't really tell from the front, but from the side, it looks so cute. So I really like this kind of low slung ponytail thing. So that's what I'm wearing in my hair. The French braid was good though because they kind of kept my hair all back, but unfortunately I was before the test. A bunch of my friends were there, so we were all kind of talking, and it kind of fell out a little bit because turn your head from side to side. But that is a good tip if you want to French braid your hair or something. Put it in a low slung ponytail like this, kind of get it out of the way. It's super cute, and just leave your bangs out, kind of fix it. That's one thing you can do. And you can kind of bring it over your shoulder like that, or just leave it back. Another thing that is good is to dress not dressy, because this girl came in the ACT today wearing a cute top, jeans, high-heeled boots. She looked super cute, but everybody looked around and was like, she's taking the ACT. Seriously? Just because it's, why would you dress up that? So me, I'm just wearing a plain t-shirt and some jeans. And I wore my little flats today. And that's what I wear to the ACT. Just a t-shirt that I feel comfortable in, that's kind of casual, because I did go out to lunch after the ACT, so I wanted to look nice, but I just wore like a little printed tee and a little cami underneath it, and that was fine for the ACT. A lot of my friends wore their sweats, like a t-shirt and some long sweatpants. We ordered special senior sweat, like little pants and a jacket, and some of them wore that. It just depends. A lot of the guys just wear jeans and t-shirts. A lot of the guys wear their sweats too. Somebody showed up in their pajamas, and that's completely fine. You're allowed to do this because it's your ACT, and they really want you to be, as comfortable as you can. Now, here's another tip. Most places where you take the test, keep it pretty chilly. So what I did this morning was I just had this really cute little cardigan on. I wore it in I think in one of my last videos that I filmed. I don't know if I put it up yet, but it's a cardigan, and it is short in the back, and it comes down really long in the front. And my aunt got this for me for Christmas last year, but the brand is Molly and Mia is the name of it, so I don't really know where she got it from, but it's very cute and very soft. So I brought this to wear on top of this. It looked very cute and very casual at the same time, very comfy. And I'm so glad I brought this because that test room was freezing. and a lot of people were shivering while they were taking their test, but I really wasn't because I had my little cardigan. So definitely a tip, bring a jacket, a light one, a heavy one, bring a North Face, bring something, just something a little comfy, but still it's going to keep you warm. Okay, so another thing that I can offer is, you know, it's definitely, there's a few things that you need to do. Before you take your ACT test, it's always great to invest in a practice ACT book. This one is very thick, I know. I did not do the whole thing, but it does come complete with tons of tests that you can score yourself on, practice tests. It even tells you how to work out the problems and the best answers and why those are the best answers. It goes, the ACT consists of 4 things. It consists of reading, English, like grammar and stuff, math, and science. And the math is totally brutal. I'm going to be honest, because I'm not that good at math anyway. I'm in pre-calc trig right now, and I have an A average, but I love pre-calc trig. I was no good in geometry, and I was really good in algebra 1, and algebra 2. So it totally depends on who you are. Some people are really good in geometry, and they get that more than they get the pre-calc trig thing. That's not me. There was a lot of geometry on the test. The test, some people, like a ton of my friends have told me, if I don't know the answers, I just mark C, because that's what they mostly have on the test. No, they don't. A lot of people will tell you that, but it's really not. Every single multiple choice answer is distributed evenly throughout the entire test. So not one is going to be, you're not going to have a chance that there's going to be more C's than there are any other. A good tip to have is if you don't know what the answer is, put a little question mark beside it. When you come back to it later, you know, you might know. You may not have circled a lot of A's, so maybe mark A, because if you don't know, you're not going to magically know. I think that's another thing that people get confused on is they sit there and they think and they do on this one problem. It's a time test, so you have 60 minutes for the math. I can't remember exactly, like maybe 45 to 60 minutes for the reading. You have 45 minutes for the grammar, and you have 45 minutes for the science. Or 35. I'm not really sure exactly on the time limit, but think about it. That's not a lot of time. And if you're staring at one problem for minutes upon minutes, that's taking your time away. So you're not going to magically know it. So just mark an answer and move on, or put a mark beside it and then come back to it later. Don't sit there. You're not going to magically know it. That's definitely one tip. This book has helped me immensely. It is a 2009 version. I know this is 2010, but honestly, I've looked it up. And I've talked to a bunch of people. The test itself is still in this format. They don't change it that drastically. Also, another thing that helped is it came with this disc. It's an ACT disc, and you just pop it in your computer, and you get to do the questions online that are just like in the book. I think that's really cool because that helped me. So the night before the test, that day before the test, you're really just supposed to relax. You've been studying, you've been working hard. You're supposed to study for a few weeks before the test. Unfortunately, I did not do that. I studied about a week and a half before the test, which is not the best idea, but I've already taken the test once, so I kind of knew what to expect. The first time I took the test, I did study for about a week or two. I did study for like a month before the test, and then like a week or two before, I just kind of slowed down on my preparation. But this week, I've been hitting the books pretty hard in preparation for the test, so it kind of depends on how you learn. I'm the kind of person that if I have a test, if I study the night before the test and memorize it, I'll be totally fine. I can't study a few days before. It's just not how I work. So that doesn't necessarily apply to the ACT though, because it is a very large test, but I did start studying like a week before, and that did help me. I didn't have any trouble in any areas but math, so I didn't study for reading, language, or science. I just focused on the math portion because that's what I need the most work on. So you just have to suit your study habits to fit you. If you think you need a lot of work on the reading and the grammar, definitely prep yourself up. Also, if you don't know something, Google it. Look it up online. Not only do you have a resource that you can buy in a book, you can also look up stuff online. There's plenty of academic websites out there that offer help to the questions that you may have. This book was about $32.95 is what the price tag says. So it was almost $40, but it's a big book. I've had it for 2 years. I've used it for 2 straight years, and it really has helped me. So that's kind of some academic things that maybe you should know and that can apply to you. Here are just a few like extra tips. You learn kind of what to wear, how to have your hair pulled back out of your face so you're not worrying about it all the time. If you want to get up and look all glamorous, straighten it, fine. Just make sure it's out of your face because you don't want to do what I do like brushing my bangs back all the time when you're taking the test. I had them in a headband back when I was taking that test, as did a lot of people around me. We didn't want any distractions. So now you know kind of how to prepare yourself for the test, what to get, what materials you can use to prepare yourself. Also, you can go online to register for the ACT. You can also, they have packets that they give out at your school, and your school has a specific code to enter in, so that they know which school. And anytime you go on to ACT.com, or I think that's what it is, I'll put a link in the down bar in case you want to look up more information about it and find the nearest testing dates. They have them every few months. They had one in They may have had one in August. They had one in September, one in October. I don't think they have one in November or December, but I want to say January. I'm not exactly sure of the exact testing dates, but I will post a link in the bottom of the website. You can register online and you print out an admission ticket. Hold on, I have a copy of mine. You print out an admission ticket, and you need a few things when going to take the ACT. I have the test dates right here. There was one in September, October. There will be one December, February, April, and June. So these are super important. They do all have deadlines. I have to have this printed out for someone for school, so that's the only reason why I have it. So there are deadlines that you have to complete in order to get this. And I thought I had my admission ticket, but I guess that I maybe don't. I thought I printed 2 copies of it. Maybe not. That's not good. But anyway, it's just a little piece of paper that you print out when you register. It's got a little square and it's got your test taking information. So on the morning of the test, you need to take that. You need to have about 2 number 2 pencils. You're not allowed to use mechanical pencils on the test, which kind of stinks. But as you can see, I had to rifle through my junk drawer. I found one good number 2 pencil, and then I brought some backups, which this one's pink and this one's a Transformers pencil. But hey, you need a number 2 pencil. I don't use number 2 pencils. I use mechanical pencils, but you know, you have to work with what you have. You are allowed to have a calculator on the test, but I will tell you that the ACT is designed so that you don't have to have a calculator to take it, but they do permit one. This is the Texas Instruments one. It's a TI-30X 2B calculator. It's a really thin one. You get these at Walmart about $12. And this is the one that I have. You are allowed to take it. I did use it. It really did help. So I do recommend getting a calculator. Even if you don't think even if you won't need it, it's still good that you have it just in case. Another thing, so you get there early, you get up, you have to be there by 8, at least for the testing center that I went to, which was just a local high school. They didn't offer it in my high school, but I went to one about 10 minutes away. So I got up at about 6:30 this morning. I showered, I got dressed, and I kind of just prepared myself. I didn't study, I didn't do anything, I wasn't really stressed out. I went, got ready, ate a good breakfast. That's really important too. You need to eat a good breakfast, because my stomach growled in the middle of the ACT even though I ate a breakfast, and it was pretty embarrassing. But not only that, but it'll help your brain to work better and give it a little fuel. Even if you're not a breakfast person, drink a cup of coffee and maybe grab a granola bar. Another thing is, get there. Usually it's best to get there about 10 to 15 minutes early. Don't wait till the last minute. Get there, even if you're just sitting in the testing room. I brought this book. It's just a PC Cast book, Divine by Blood, that I've been reading. Love this book. Well, it says my elaborate name, so you can't see that, but I really do love this book. I tweeted about it. I read the second one in one day. I read the second one in one day, and I had the first one before that, and then I got the second and read it. Now I'm on the third. So I really love that book, but I just read my book. You're not allowed to read in between testing, but I read my book a few minutes before the test, and it helped warm my brain up and get my brain ready to read, ready to deal with problems and stuff. And the first section of the test was English comprehension, so I was ready to go. So one more tip I have to offer you is minty gum or peppermint. This is just Orbit Mist. It is a proven fact that peppermint or the mint flavor helps your brain activity, and I don't know why, but it really does. And there was no rules about you can't have food or drinks in the testing area, but they didn't say anything about gum. So I just chewed the gum, and it's in the little thing, peppermint spray. So I just chewed my gum, and I don't know why, but if anything helps, it helps. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Another thing is you can't have cell phones or anything electronic. If a sound goes off, they'll eliminate your test. So leave your cell phones in the car. Don't worry, you won't want to be texting anybody in between the tests. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped you all. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Please subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and I hope you guys have a good day. Bye. Please subscribe.